the hunger for success, you will always have the power within you to achieve it. To reach such greater heights and to learn more technologies, the MCA Semester 5 Department of Computer Application along with their internal quality assurance cell are going ahead with a webinar in the form of a 5-day short-term training programs on a new generation computer technologies. And we have come to the 4th day of it. And I am here to welcome all the prominent personality to this webinar. Father Joshi Chiramkudi CMI, Principal, Management and Technology, the person who has played a key role in the development and still working hard for the betterment of our college. A strong motivator, dedicated teacher, and above all, a good friend. We are lucky to have him as our principal. Even in his absence, I welcome you, Father. Next, I would like to welcome Mr. Roji Thomas, Head of Department of Computer Application. His able leadership, calm and quiet interior, and down-to-earth personality have done a word of good to the upgradation and the enrichment of MCA department. Hearty welcome to you, dear sir. Better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher. One such an eminent personality is Mr. Sushi Joseph, Assistant Professor of Computer Applications and the Coordinator of IQAC, Christiodi College of Management and Technology. I kindly welcome you, dear sir. Ms. Haya Rafi, who having 4 years of experience in the industry and currently working at TCS Lucknow in testing and support domains. She has certification in testing at ISTQB Foundation. She completes her degree from Integral University Lucknow and completes her MBA from Kanpur University. We are glad to have such an eminent personality for handling today's session, Career Path for Software Testing. With the immense pleasure, I welcome Ms. Haya Rafi to this webinar.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to express a warm welcome to our all dear teachers and all the students who have put a lots of effort to make this event happen. I am extremely happy to welcome all participants of this session. Once again, I welcome you all. I kindly request all the participants to put your mic on mute, and if you have any doubts, then you can post it in the chat box. Now moving on to the core, let me invite Ms. Haya Rafi to handle the session. Ma'am, please.
Thank you for having me here. So today we'll start the discussion about the career path for software testing. So let me start about the discussion about how we can achieve that and how we can be a good software tester for that industries. So is I'm audible to you guys that I can start with?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so today we'll be discussing about what software testing is, because before getting into that career path about it, we must know about how it is and what exactly it is. And the second point, we'll be discussing about what kind of software testing we'll be performing in the industries, and what all the benefits of the software testing and its future scopes as well, so that you guys will be aware about it, how to do that. And there are so many certification available as well. So we'll be discussing about the certification as well, which you can do and pursue for your future. So let's start that.
Yes.
Okay. So today we'll be discussing what software testing is, to understand it in a better way. So software testing is basically a kind of an investigation which we perform on any kind of a software. So we'll be very much aware about the developers made a software for us to like kind of applications or web pages for industries, so that we can use it and we can perform other tasks as well. As you guys are aware about like many example of the application. I can give you an example of like which everyone use. It's a WhatsApp. Everybody has an idea about it. So before launching it, we should be very much aware about that it is good for the users as well. The user are someone who are going to use our application. So we as a tester, we need to be assured that this application fulfilling the need of of a user. So what we do, we perform a particular investigation in a particular path. Like first we design that, like how we're going to perform that, and we analyze all the drawbacks, all the needs of the user, what it needs to be done. So we'll, as a tester, we do all these things and we assure the quality of the software that it should be a best for our user. So once a developer develops that, we as a tester, our work starts after the development. So after that, uh, we'll be doing it as a part of our job. Am I clear about this one? So we can move to the next slide. That what exactly the software testing is. And I'll be moving on what kind of a different kind of a software testing we'll be performing. So there are basic three kind of a software testing we'll be performing. First is a manual testing. The second one is automation testing, and the third one is the performance testing. So let me give you a basic overview that what these testings are. So let's move ahead with the manual testing. So what manual testing is? Basically, what we have done, we have few of the user stories. Let me explain you what user stories is. User stories are the basic requirements of the user. Like you are working for any particular company, so who let you know that this we wanted? So stakeholders or the product owners or multiple like users will come with you with the requirements that what they exactly wanted. Let me know if I'm going too fast so that I can slow down my speed as well. These are the persons who come up with these ideas and they will process what they want us to follow. So these are the user stories which mention all the requirements. So as a manual tester, what we do, we read out the requirements, we go through with the user stories, and we check out that what exactly the user wanted. Everything is mentioned in the user story. So it's called a user story because user want that. So it's the user story. Uh, Hope I'm clear about that point. So moving ahead with the manual testing, what manual testing is. So after reading out uh, that user story, will go ahead with that manual part. There is that you can say which use a human effort, not more of the tools. So it takes a human effort, and as being a human being, we'll be testing and we'll be performing some different kind of a testing over there. So what exactly it is? I think everybody in that there's a subject called system engineering. So in that subject, you have many more of you read about that black box testing and white box testing. It's a very common word over there. So what in that what we do, we perform a different kind of a testing. So basically, it helps us to perform a unit testing. What unit testing says? A unit testing says there is an application. Okay. So where there is an application, the user tells you what to enter in that, how you get into the application, whatever it is. So that comes under the unit testing, which help you to understand what you are going to test. And the second part which comes upon that, which is say integration testing. What integration testing is? Like you are working on a Google. Okay. So when you get into the Google and you enter, there's a term you enter testing. So Google will process that request and take you to the another page. So that page is interconnected with another, the main searching page. So these two pages are interconnected with each other. So while you are doing testing that everything is working fine, and you whatever you're giving that input, you are getting the proper output of it as well. So that comes in integration testing. So that's the main part of that how you are going to test these kind of a things under that. Another things will come is regression testing. Regression testing what says? It basically says uh, all the performance you are going to perform in a particular application. Like you are clicking on anything, like you are filling a form. in any application or any site, like in your college, you fill an application forms, right? So, well, while you are filling application forms, there are multiple save and other browsing buttons as well. So these are buttons where you click on that, what action you are getting from it, if your action is right or not. Like if you are clicking on save and it's taking you to the cancel thing. So these are the main performance things which it says it's exactly performing that or not. That comes under the regression. If you're clicking on save and it's not saving the page, it's canceling it, then it's a bug. What bug is? Bug is a kind of a defect in a system. So these are the tester's job to test it and to assure that the quality of the software is deliverable to the user. And what the other things comes? The other things comes the smoke test. Smoke test is basically a very normal eye catching thing. Like you are entering into the Google and you are getting the Google is written in a different way. Like Google is written as a googly. So that comes in the smoke test. You have to just see that your application is looking what exactly user wants or not. Like you are expecting a blue color in an application and you like user expecting a blue color in an application and you are displaying it as a pink. So definitely the user will be upset by that thing. So these are the tester job to be assured what user wants, we are exactly delivering that to the user. If we are like if the developers are not up to the mark and if your developers are not making it as required, it's a tester job to let the developer know that what is required. Okay, so these comes under the manual testing. So the manual testing is more of a human effort. It won't go under the automation testing. Automation testing, it will be needing a tool and it can be a cost effective and it won't needed much human there. So manual testing is very much about the human effort, and this is one of the most focused testing. This is a very much and in nowadays in the market we much very much needed a human resources for a manual testing because there are a lot of automation tools are there, but they are not up to the mark or they are not giving us the exact results what exactly user wanted. So these are a very much the manual tester are very much required nowadays. Okay, so let's move to the automation testing. And there were few popular tools I have mentioned over there as well, which you can get a hands-on on it because automation is one of the very popular thing in the industry nowadays. If you want to, like, if you can say, if you want to go on site, like so many of us wants that because we are mostly like an Indian, we wants to work and we wants to go on site. So many of the students wants that. So for especially for those, I'll let you know if you have hands-on on those automation tools before getting in the industry, you have a better opportunity to get on-site opportunities for yourself. So let me tell you what automation testing is. So automation testing is basically a technique or kind of a thing which performs or which performs to run automation test case suits. So let me explain you here. Like if I am a user and I need to perform uh, something more than once. Like I need to log in into that system. So I'm logging into the system again and again. Even not once, like I'm logging today, I'm logging in the evening, and I'm logging at a night, and I'm logging again. So for these kind of actions, which happen continuously and concurrently, happening so many times. So for that, we create automation suits so that we don't need a much human effort into that one. So what we do for this one, we'll create a test suite. Like first we'll create in a step one in a single test suite we can provide a multiple steps like uh, like enter the logo, enter your link over there. So first what we'll do that if we enter a Google in a Chrome, it will display a Google page. So what we do in a first line we'll be written in Google over there. Then another step on that, it will be saying enter a like any kind of application we're entering. So it will be taking to that page. And then the third point will be giving our credentials to that. So credentials would be the same so that we can be repeatedly use that. For that, this automation testing would be helpful. This is also very much needed nowadays. So I mentioned there's a few popular tools. I mentioned the Selenium at the first because Selenium is the one of the most popular things, and there are multiple tools in the industry which based on Selenium. So once you have hands-on on Selenium, what you guys can do, you can do lots of tools. Because in my career, what I have seen, there are even I've mentioned multiple tools over below that they also use Selenium. Selenium is one of the most popular thing over there. So once you have hands-on on that one, nobody can touch you in automation testing. I'll tell you guys. So this is one of the most important things. So once the and Selenium is basically based on Java. So if you guys have good idea about Java, you can write your automation script in Selenium easily. So tester cannot be only a tester. Tester can be a developer as well in a short term, as you guys can see. And other tool is the Robotim. This is also based on very much on Java thing because Java is most basic language and this is used for automation so many times. And as you can see, and I can tell you guys what is happening. Now, I'll tell you my personal experience. I was in a project. I cannot tell you the name, but there was in a project where I was working and I was not having idea about Selenium. But there was an automation tool which is very much based on that. So whenever I stuck into that one, so it'll take too longer for me to get it resolved. So that's why I've realized that Selenium and Java is very much important to know, like at not in deep, but as a basic knowledge that how it is giving you the output, how you are entering the code, what methods you're using. So these all things are very much important. So once you have a hands-on on that one, it will be very easy for you for your career path. And another tool I have mentioned is Test Complete. This is also the same kind of a tool. It does not require very much of like very much in the language mode, but it is still required your thing. And one of the very much important tool is Visual Studio Test Professional. What exactly this does? This is a very popular tool nowadays. Selenium is a language, but Visual Studio Test Professional is a tool which is very much required because this is most easily available in a market, and industries use that because it's very cost effective as well. So once you have idea about Visual Studio Test Professional, you will be easily getting and you will be very much easy and to execute our test cases. Execute in sense you just need to click on run and your test cases will execute. But for that you need to have an idea about how you are writing a test cases. Okay. So here I would like to say if you have hands-on on Selenium and Visual Studio Test Professional, you are going to be very much expert in automation testing if you want your future in automation. And I must say automation has a great scope for on-sites as well. If you guys interested in that. So let's move to another piece that says performance testing. Performance testing is basically what like we read out about the two different testing, which is manual and automation. So performance testing is completely different from both of them. Like if you do not have any idea about manual or automation testing, still you can perform the performance testing for your system. So what performance testing does? Performance testing basically it's a load test for a system. So what I'll tell you, there are so many applications you're logging into, and what you guys see, the system got crashed, and it says right now you cannot log into the application because load is very high. So what does it mean? It means at a single moment of time only particular uh, set of people can log into the application. Like I have created application for your for your company, and I am giving it a limit like 1,000 people at a time. So if 1,001 people get into the application, so that application will crash for 1,001 person, not for 1,000 person, but another one person who trying to get into the application, that will crash for that person. So basically, that helps us to recognize what, how much load an application or stress can take. What we test into that one, we'll test that response time. Like we are getting into the Google, we are typing Google, and we it take approx 2 to 3 seconds to show the result. So these all things that comes under the performance testing. How you'll get to know that this application is taking 2 seconds, and this application is taking 3 seconds to get the output. So these are things come under the performance testing. So for particular testing, there I have mentioned few tools over there, which is the load view, stress stimulate, Apache JMeter, smart meter, and rational performance tester. So I would like to tell you guys, this is also based on Java. So as I've tell you, Java is one of the most important language in terms if you want to be a good tester. So if you have idea about Java, you'll rock in this field. I must tell you. So, mm, as of my personal experience, I am working for Apache JMeter. So, what exactly it does? It does. You just need a particular recording for your system. I'll give you a basic overview about that. That's how I perform a performance testing. You just need a good recorder. Few of these tools already have inbuilt recorder. If not, there are multiple available in the market. You can download it and use it in your system. And then it create a script. What script it is? It record your action, what you are doing. Like you are clicking on something, it will record that, and it will use in your performance testing. You are getting a response in 2 seconds, it will record that, and it perform the same things for 1,001 users for you within a second. So these are the things which make it easier, because we can do the performance testing using human efforts as well. But what it does, you have to use a stopwatch and sitting into that one, and it cannot be that accurate as the tools could be. And I would like to tell you guys, there are so many certification available for performance testing as well, for these kind of a thing. If you want to be expert in Apache JMeter, there's a certification available for that as well. You can go ahead and you can do that, because the Apache JMeter is a future. And another tools as well, it depends on a different company to company and different user to user. But most of them are using Apache JMeter nowadays, because this is very user friendly and very easy to use as well. So these are the few things which use in a performance testing. So let me get a quick overview about what we have gone through with that. First is a manual testing. Manual testing needs a human, like a human effort. So if you guys have idea about the basic application interfaces, and like what user wanted, if you have idea about all these things, it all need your effort. If you have idea about all these things, you can be a good in that one. Another thing needs an automation. What automation required? Automation required a Selenium language which is based on Java. So if you have a good idea about Java, you can have a good future in automation testing. And I'm again telling you, it has a great scope and a great future of on-site persons as well. Like you want to go somewhere else, because especially I would like to tell you, in US market there is that very much high demand. They need automation testers for their companies, because they are trying to because they are reducing the human efforts. They need few humans to automate their things to reduce because it's cost effective as well. So this is one of the things. So that's why the technology is very high over there, and they need automation testers to easy and make their things make their life easy. And the last one we have done about the performance testing. What performance testing is? So performance testing is basically a load test. It's nothing else. You just need to get to know how much load your application can take, how good your application is, like how many user it can take at a moment of time. So all these tests comes under performance testing, and there were few tools I have mentioned over there. As you guys can see, these are the tools which help you to perform a performance testing. So if you guys have hands on any one of these, you will be like very much required in a performance testing if you go for an interview. And if you say that you know Apache JMeter, so definitely your profile comes very much highlighted over there, because they require such people who already know all these things, and they'll be willing to have that person in their company because they don't need to put so much effort on training purposes. As you guys know that today nowadays the corona is there, and we are not much getting into with each other. So because of that, trainings are very much less, because I had a training in Kerala for this thing. But what is happening here nowadays, nobody can go anywhere. So because of that, if you have already knowledge about all these things, your profile will be easily selectable. If they'll see that you have mentioned that you know Apache JMeter, they'll be hiring you within a second. These are something which are very much important nowadays. Hope I was clear about that. Okay, so now let's move for that important certification which are available for the testing. So for basically for testing, there is the one of the most important certification is available, which is the International Software Testing Qualification Board, is ISTQB. So ISTQB, as of now, ISTQB is the one of the most important and very popular certification because it is acceptable internationally. You can say in entire world, you can go anywhere with the certification. It's still valid. So let me tell you how many types of certifications are available for ISTQB. So for ISTQB, there are basically three different kind of certifications available. First, if you want to be an agile tester, if you guys have idea about what agile is, so agile is a basically new technology, not technology, it's a kind of a model which we are following nowadays in a company. Every company is following agile now. No single company is using waterfall model. So I believe you guys have idea about waterfall model and agile model because that's subject in BC and MCA, which says software engineering. So these things are there. So like I'm assuming you guys have idea about what waterfall model and what agile model is. So, but still I'll give you an idea what agile model is. So in agile model, in like I'll tell you what waterfall model was. Waterfall model was people are not interconnecting or directly discussing each thing to each other. First, they'll follow a particular hierarchy. They'll go to their manager, and their manager will go to their manager, and their manager will then they'll decide to the higher committees. Then they'll decide what needs to be done. Then again, it will follow a downward hierarchy to come to us that what we are going to do. So what industries move to? Now industries move to the agile model. So agile model which says it will help you to communicate with anyone at any time. You don't need to follow a particular hierarchy to reach to the someone. Like you are following like you are facing some issues. You now nowadays you can directly contact the manager to the manager. It's nothing necessary that you need to follow a particular hierarchy for that. So this is the best part nowadays, and you guys have to be a good in this method. You don't need to be, you don't need, like in college we used to, for every issue we used to run to the teachers, and teacher goes to the HOD, and then HOD will tell you the teacher, and then teacher will come to you and let you know everything. So now what it is happening in industry, they are directly reaching to the main source person who is going to give the solution. So this is the main and one of the most important thing, which is agile. So if you're agile tester, you need a basic foundation level certificate, which I have right now. I'm planning for agile certificate as well in future for advanced level as well. So as of now, I have the foundation level certificate for that. So once you achieve the foundation level certificate, you need to go to the advanced level. So there are basically two type of there's a sub sub certificates. One is foundation level, another one is the advanced level, and another third one will be coming as the second one will be coming as a core certificate. So in core certificate, what is happening? It's completely different from the agile one. It's nothing related to that, but you also need to distinguish between the foundation level, advanced level, and the expert level. So what core certificate will do? Core certificate will be like it's not bounded you to only be in an agile system. You can work in any different systems as well. You guys just give me a second. So what is happening here? If once you have the core certificate, you can work for agile, you can work for waterfall model, and you can work for any other model we are following, like any industry is following. So once you get that certificate, you will be eligible for working in any different kind of a model. And in agile certificate, what is happening? You will be only eligible, and your certificate is valid for agile kind of a project. If your project is following agile methodology, you are good to go. But if not, then you need a core certificate. And another third one is the specialist one. What comes under the specialist one? If you have that certificate, means you are certified to do performance testing, you are certified to do automation testing, and you can do any kind of a testing available in the market. So basically, there's a I have mentioned over there. If you have done the foundation level course, you need to do these courses. This this courses will help you to know the security testers. Security testers, what it does. Let me tell you what it does. Security testers are basically the one who um, who assure that we are authorized to use that application. If you are using a WhatsApp, then only your authorized number has the authority to get into that messages. If if I'm trying to get into that with another authentication code, like if I'm using my phone number for that, I will never get into that one. So security tester, what it does, it will assure the authenticity, the authority to check that you are the authorized person to get into particular place in that particular application. Another thing is the test automation engineering. Test automation engineering is the same thing which I have told you about the automation testing. So this is the same thing. It is a model-based tester. So model-based tester, what is I've told you, if you have agile model, waterfall model. So these are the models. If you have idea about these things, you will be under specialist certification. You will be getting everything. Usability tester. So usability testing is basically that it will tell you that which user can use that. Like if I'm using a particular application which I have designed especially for Canada, and I'm trying to log into the India, it won't be like it won't work over there. So these are the usability things. Gambling testing, mobile application testing, the same thing. Mobile application testing, it helps you to test that mobile application, especially the applications which are designed for phones, like if a particular app like Zoom. Zoom is something which we can use on our laptops and in mobiles as well. But there are few many applications which use specifically for phones, mobile phones. So these applications will work only on mobile phone. These are the testers' job to test how these applications will work over there. So basically, it's an Android-based language sometimes. So you need to at least have a little idea about it, not much deep idea, but at least have an idea that what Android language is. Right? And the performance testing, which I have told you that what exactly the performance testing is, the load test and everything, and acceptance testing the same as you guys know. So these are the three different kind of a certification, and there is the way to achieve that. So let me get a review about that. So first is agile tester certificate. Another is the core tester certificate, and the third one is the specialist one. So if you want to get the agile one, you need to do a two steps of that. So for the foundation, you need to do a foundation level course. Once you have achieved that foundation level test certificate, you need to go to the advanced level. And for the core testing, what it does, for core testing, you need to have a foundation level course first. Then you can move ahead with the advanced level. Then at last you'll be the expert level. Once you have the expert level, you will be achieving the core tester certificate. And if you need a certificate, specialist level certificate, you just need to do a foundation level course. And after that, there is these a few a few certifications are available. You need to perform all. If you want to be a specialist, you need to get certification on all this. The security tester, automation engineer, model based usability. So these are all the certificates you need to get to achieve that. And if you want to have a basic idea about that, so you can log in into that ISTQB site where you can pay approx 4,500 something to get the foundation level course done. So there is an exam going on. Uh, I think every month exam will be held every month. So you guys can register on that, and you guys can easily get that foundation level certificate. I'll let you know that from where you guys can get an idea about which kind of questions and it will come. So what you guys need to do, simply type ISTQB MCQ question for foundation level. So you will get a good book or approx the 400 to 500 questions, a set of questions to have an idea what foundation level of tester does. So after reading all these things, you will be easily able to get the foundation level of testing certificate. And with these questions, you'll be having a good idea what these testings are and how it should be performed. Okay, so now we are come to the end. So if anyone have any question, can ask me now.
Now we will have an interactive session. Participants, if you have any doubt, please unmute your mic and ask directly, or you can post it in the chat box.
Uh, for automate, like I would take the question. So first question I will be taking, it is necessary to know coding to perform automated testing. Actually, it's not necessary, but it depends on company to company. Like if you know the coding, it will be easier for you to do perform automation testing. Basically, for in Selenium, what it does, you need a basic human language. if you know the basic human language, you will be able to do that. But it's based on Java, so you need to know basic level of Java. Like if you need to print the output, so for that you need system.out.print. So these kind of a simple codes you will be needing to know, and not much deeper that you need a core Java or something like that. You just don't need that. You just need a basic knowledge about that. Hope I'll answer your question, Arya. So I'll be taking another question. Is the testing tool to check load on database? Uh, these tools basically help you to perform the load test on database as well. It will let you know that how many users are getting into that. So everything is stored in the database. So it will help you to get to know about the database history as well. Is there any standard to create test report of manual testing? No, standard. Actually, it depends on person to person how you want to report your manual testing. Basically, what I does, I'll tell you my personal thing. I'll maintain a particular Excel to report everything. I'll maintain everything over there. That what action I'm putting into that, what output I'm getting, how it should be, how it's supposed to be. So these are the things which needs to be mentioned in a particular Excel sheet. And if your project and if your thing is providing you any particular tool, you can maintain it over there as well. So for maintaining and for reporting your test cases, there are particular and very popular tool as well, which called NPM. So which says manage test tools. So these are the things. Hopefully I'm clear with that, Simi. And I'm taking another one is Akil. While monitoring a project, what all things have to consider? Uh, uh, while monitoring a project, sorry, I'm not getting your point. Now you can unmute and you can ask me that clearly. Monitoring a project in performance testing or manual or automation, in which terms you are asking? Because while we are monitoring, it doesn't come under come under a manual or automation testing. Basically, monitoring comes under performance testing. So what performance testing does, it gives you a proper log. While doing a performance testing, there are so many tools which create logs. For that logs, you can monitor each and everything over there. So what are things you need to look into that one? How many time it will taking? What is how much user are getting into that one? What is the stress on that application? What is the usability of that application, reliability of that application, and your application is stable or not? So these all things needs to be monitored. Hopefully I'll answer your question. So another question I'm taking, which the server performance monitoring comes under QA. Yeah. So server performance monitoring do come under performance monitoring, and what it takes, it will help you to get into the servers, because it will help you to get into that what how much memory is your servers are taking up to that for the particular application, what the CPU usage is, how many CPU you are using for your servers, and what kind of CPU you are using for your server. So all these things come under the performance testing. So basically, it needs all these efforts. Uh, I think I hopefully I'll answer your question, Grishma. No, so now I cannot see any questions. So hopefully, guys, I answer your questions over there.
Dear students, any more questions? You can either type it in the chat box or you can unmute your mic.
Ma'am, is JMeter used to test applications developed in Java only?
No, it not comes on that application develop on Java. Application could be developed on anything, but that JMeter is basically made on Java. So that basic structure of JMeter tool is on Java, not that application is testing. Application could be in any language. It just needs to perform a particular set of actions. So Apache JMeter is made of Java. So that Java language is used to build Apache JMeter, not the application to check the load test. Application could be in any language.
There is one more question from Anjita Raj. How to prepare for a software testing interview?
Okay, so like if you guys want to go for a software testing interview, basically if you guys have a foundation level certificate, your CV would be very much highlighted over there. Okay, and you need to mention each and everything in proper detail, how you because your CV is very much important. Because the first thing is your CV. So if you're mentioning all these details, the certification things, your manual testing, automation, whatever you're expert of, you need to mention it over there. And if you have basic idea about that manual testing and what all the things, because basically if you're going for a software testing interview, what interviewer expect for? If you're mentioning all these things, they should check your basic knowledge about manual testing. If you have idea about manual testing, you can go ahead with other things as well. So I would say get a certificate on foundation level of ISTQB and be prepared with the basic knowledge. I'm not saying get a very much high knowledge about that so that you can get everything. Get a basic knowledge about it, that's what it is and how you're going to perform it and what all things are needed for that and get the certificate. I'm hopefully you'll be good to go. Thank you.
Ma'am, one more question.
Yeah.
Is a testing tool which can be used irrespective of the programming language used?
So you're asking about the tool, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so there are few many tools which are irrespective from the programming language. I would like to mention is the Visual Studio, which I have shown you guys. That Visual Studio one. So that tool is completely irrespective from that languages. And any other questions, guys? Let me show it to you which tool. So this one.
Hope there are no more doubts from the participants. Thank you, ma'am. It was indeed a wonderful time in your training session. Now, we have come to the end of today's webinar. I am inviting Ms. Najma Hussain to deliver vote of thanks. Najma?
Najma, are you there?
Okay. Am I audible?
Yeah, yes, very much. Najma, you're audible.
Good morning, all. As we all know, we have come to the end of today's webinar series organized by MCA Semester 5, Department of Computer Application, Christopher College of Management and Technology. The duty bestowed upon me is to expand the words of gratitude to all the personalities of prominence present here to enrich this occasion. First of all, I express our sincere gratitude to Reverend Father Joshi Chiramkuri CMI, Principal, Christopher College of Management and Technology. Thank you, Father, for being with us on this glorious occasion. Next, Mr. Roger Thomas, Head of the Department of Computer Application. Thank you, sir, for your support and guidance. Mr. Sushil Joseph, Coordinator of IQAC, Christopher College of Management and Technology. Today's session is handled by Ms. Haya Rafi about the topic Career Path for Software Testing. It was really a wonderful session. Thank you so much, ma'am. And special thanks to all the teaching and non-teaching staff and all the students who has put a lot of effort to make this event happen. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you, Nashma. Here we have come to the end of the session. Feedback form is provided in the chat box. I request all dear participants to kindly fill the form, gently reminding you all that the e-certificate will be provided to those participants who attend the online quiz after completing all the sessions and has got 80% of attendance throughout. Thank you one and all. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, ma'am, Ms. Haya Rafi. Thank you very much for interacting, for having a session from your side. It has been truly an eye-opener for a lot of students about to know the details about software testing and how to proceed into that particular field. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. And if anyone need any help, can get in touch with me anytime. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ingi ഇതേക്കാലം സാറേ
Okay, Mr. ND